Have you ever wondered, could a small act of kindness you offer today come back to you one day in the most unexpected and magical way? A simple bunch of grapes, seemingly ordinary, carried within it a sacred cycle passing through 7 hearts, only to return to the very place it began. Sometimes in life, what you think you've given away forever will return more radiant, more meaningful, more blessed, whispering a truth from the universe. Every seed of kindness you sow will one day bloom. One misty morning, as dew still clung to the leaves and the sun cast its first golden light, a humble farmer arrived at the old monastery gate. His knock was gentle but earnest. The gatekeeper monk opened the door to find a man of weathered hands and bright, sincere eyes. In his hands he held a glistening bunch of grapes, deep violet and full of life. "Brother," said the farmer, "these are the finest grapes my vineyard has ever produced. I bring them as a gift for you." The monk was taken aback. "For me? Why not offer them to the abbot? Surely he would be more pleased." The farmer smiled warmly. "No, these are for you. In my darkest days, when drought ruined my crops, when I came here seeking hope, it was you who opened this gate. You handed me bread and wine when I had nothing. This bunch of grapes is my way of saying thank you. A little sunlight, a little rain, and a little miracle from God." The monk was deeply moved. He held the grapes gently, admiring the way each one shimmered like a pearl. But instead of keeping them, he thought of the abbot, his teacher, his guide, and decided to pass the gift along. The abbot received the grapes with grace and joy. But as he looked at them, he was reminded of a brother in the monastery who had been ill for many weeks. Perhaps this little gift from nature will lift his spirits, he thought. And so the grapes were passed again this time, into the hands of a frail monk lying quietly in his chamber. The sick brother smiled at the kindness, but didn't hold on to it for long. When the cook came in with lunch, the sick monk presented him with the grapes. "You care for me every day," he said. "These are for you. I believe you'll appreciate their essence more than anyone else." The cook, surprised and touched, held the grapes like a treasure. He admired their beauty, then thought of the monastery priest, the one who oversaw the holy sacraments, whose life was devoted to the sacred. "Surely he will understand the divine craftsmanship in these grapes better than anyone," he whispered to himself. The monastery priest received the gift with reverence. "These are no ordinary grapes," he thought. "They are a blessing wrapped in nature's design." Yet he too felt moved to pass it along, not for a reason of duty, but of deep reflection. He summoned the youngest novice, placed the bunch in his hands, and said, "Take these, and remember, God reveals himself not just in grand miracles, but in the smallest details of creation. These grapes are sacred." The young novice was overwhelmed. Never before had he seen something so beautiful. As he held the bunch, his thoughts drifted back to the day he first arrived at the monastery. He had been nervous, uncertain, lost, and the first person to welcome him? The gatekeeper monk. That man's gentle smile and silent kindness had made the boy feel safe, seen, and worthy. So, just before nightfall, the novice went to the gate and knocked. The old monk opened the door once more, surprised to find the boy holding the same grapes he had once received. "Please take them back," the boy said softly. "You were the beginning of this journey, and you are the one who deserves it most." That bunch of grapes, so simple at first, had traveled through 7 hearts, touching each soul in its own way. It began as a thank you, became a symbol of love, and returned as a sacred offering. It showed that every act of kindness creates a ripple. One that eventually circles back to the source. A smile, a warm meal, a helping hand, a prayer. None of these are ever wasted. They live on, transform, and return, sometimes long after you've forgotten them. In a world chasing rewards, the most powerful blessings are those that come without expectation. GoldenBellDharma's message to you. Be like the grapes in this story. Offer your light freely, share your warmth generously, and trust one day the love you gave will return in the most extraordinary form. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to GoldenBellDharma, where we bring you timeless tales of wisdom, love, and spiritual truth.